Good evening, traders. Well, good morning actually. It's Mark here from the day trading room. Time is 20 to 1 in the morning London time. Just up reviewing my trades, market scenarios, market levels, and just watching this oil tick along. Almost took out the 103 level there, but fell back on low volume, of course, this time of night. Going to make this a short video, I promise. so let's get right at it. We've got one day to cover. Again, most of it on oil. Two trades for me on the Dow. In fact, let's go through those first of all. Great trades for me on the Dow. Okay, first one not too bad. We popped up. Just really thought it was just one of those little pop-up flushes that we were just going to go lower and start testing, considering we had a really heavy downtrend yesterday. I just thought perhaps with that it had a chance to pop up overnight. It didn't. Pull back. I just thought that was going to fill the gap, so took the short there, rolled over, covered half, just as we just sort of got momentum to the lows really. Looking for the rest to flush through, didn't get it and ended up taking a break-even stop on that, so not so good. This was the trade of the day really, in terms of not in terms of points, but in terms of patience and execution. 5 o'clock window, in fact 5 o'clock on the dot, I took this trade. A couple of them haven't been so great recently, but this one worked a treat. My normal little window there I've spoken about before. We just pushed down. It was a nice little level as well, good low tick of the day there, below yesterday's low, which is a dotted red, below the close, solid red. Just took a little bit of heat, but not a lot. I was giving it a bit of room, this, and then I was going to hold it. I wanted to hold it for one full cycle. That was the plan. I'd also taken a trade in oil the other way on the short side just before that, again looking for one full cycle. This one worked nicely. I took it out as we tagged the VWAP. There was my first exit, and then I took it out exactly 1 hour later. I missed that little pot there. Would have been nice to get that extra 10 points, but I didn't. I took it out at 6 o'clock London time, which was here. The stochastics were high. It had cycled up. I was very, very pleased to get that sort of move on it. I didn't really want to give any back. Did I think it could come up here? It was possible, but I was going to take it all out there. So that was a good Dow trade and good patience for that setup. So I'll just go to this oil trade. I took the short here actually, which was the opposite of the Dow trade, around the same time. This is the 5 o'clock. This was about 4:45, about 10 to 5. As we popped over this 102 whole number, I decided to take a small short after I've been very actively scalping. I'll run through those in a second. And I just exited a long, actually, a scalp long. I decided to take a small short, just literally above the 102. In fact, I think my fill was a little bit under the 102. By the time it flushed and gone lower, it was more in the high 90s. And I was looking for the opposite type of trade to the Dow. I was looking for a cycle lower, a low stochastic to come out into, maybe get a 100-cent trade out of that. A 101 wasn't out of the question. So that was the premise of that. It came down okay. It gave me sort of 40 cents. I was looking for much more than that, and I was looking for a good cycle lower. Okay, I had the wrong chart. Let me get the right chart. There's a 3-minute chart, just so that it's not confusing. I said that took the short here, a small short. It was about 10 to 5, about my midday period. Here we are. This is the correct 3-minute chart here now. So there's this little spike here. I was looking for this really, for the stochastics to cycle lower and for the exit. And 101 wasn't really out of the question. So great entry on that, fantastic. As I say, looking for a bit more of a swing trade on this. It was a smaller position, so I'd given it a little bit of room. The market went my direction, 40 odd cents. I'm looking for more. My exit criteria is oversold stochastics. First oversold stochastics, and there would be my exit. I didn't get it. We got this final pop. By this time I pulled my stock to break even. I was happy to give back what was on the table, but I wasn't happy to turn it into a loser. So I pulled it a few ticks below my entry just to make sure that I covered my costs and any slippage. But unfortunately, we got this last little pop at quarter past 5 that just flushed everyone out. Flushed me out as well. So no loss on that. But it did end. The premise was okay. The timing was just off. It did roll over. There was the oversold stochastics. There would have been the nice exit there. And would have been around this level, which would have been a nice little trade, but not to be. I got the Dow one, so happy with that. So let's talk. So those were the sort of cycle trade. I didn't trade at all after that. I was happy to stick with the gains of the day. Lots of scalping on oil, very active. A little short here on the volume move, covered quickly. Long when this held for the second time. This is the classic sort of double bottom scenario. Lower low that pops up immediately. There's the support, there's the little push through, pops up immediately, there's the long, there's the stop, taking it off as it scales up into the I was actually looking for a longer move up here really, considering where we were, but yeah, took 3 scales on that and ended up taking a break even on this last one. Was looking for a bit of a runner, but got 2 away. Nice profit on that, and then stopped out break even. But I'm happy to take stop outs at break even on the last batch, because you never know when that might be a runner. Plenty of times when that can run on, and you get a 40-cent trade out of that. This was a great little trade here. Just saw this tape selling coming in, picking up on volume. Entry, 2 market entries actually, 147, 142. Part of the premise was throughout this was for it to test the 100 and dip under, just to shake out a few guys. And you know what? Look at how classical it was. It dipped under, looked for some liquidity under the 100 level, pushed it under. They got all this, they scooped up all these contracts here, and didn't look back then, and we popped up above the 102. But anyway, back to this trade. 2 short entries, one at 147 cents and 42 cents. Covered those 3 covers. 115. That was just to hedge some risk as we pushed down into the pulse. And then it's great exits, 99.92, 99.97. Okay, we went a lot lower. We did go a lot lower. Where did we go? Went 75 actually, and then even pushed another thing lower to 58. But yeah, those were the exits. Looking at the exit there, I came out most of it and held one, looking for a little bit more, but it popped up so quickly. I ended up getting 97 on the last, even though I held it through that push. But you just don't know whether it's going to go another 50 cents. So I gave it a little bit. It came back, probably gave back 20 cents. But the entries were great. Some great profit on that. These 2 here were scalp shorts. I took 2 entries here and scalped them out for literally it's this setup. It's very difficult to show on a 1-minute chart because it's out and within that candle. This is the setup. It's the usual thing. The flush lower. This time we caught it, so great. But if you don't, you're waiting for that little pullback that pauses, tape seller, and then the second revisit. So got both ends of the move actually. Saw the move before it happened on the tape, which was great. So picked that out nicely. Got that move. Exited okay, missed a low, but then re-entered as we just popped over the 100, and then took it on the short side there. Great. What else was this? This was a short. We'd counter trend moved. Really, this was strong. This had just gone on too far. Here was interesting. I was tempted to take a short here, but it was relatively strong. I thought, let's just see what happens if it can pop to the 50. Pop to the 50, then we got that little wick, and then there's a little short there, just on the pullback. Didn't want much from that because it had come quite a way. That was the move. That was way beyond the 50% of the move. So great. I promised I'd keep this video short. We're coming up to 10 minutes. Let's run it through very quickly. Short here as we poked over the 101. Absolutely awful entry. Awful. Market order, I was too slow. It was at 19, should have been in the 10 really, but by the time I got a fill, I got 101.01. Horrible fill. I was only looking for it to dip back under the 101 level. So I took that off for 3 cents, nothing. It was a crap entry. So excuse me, it was a poor entry. So I'd get it out quickly. Don't let the bad entry change your premise. The premise was to catch that little dip under fine. Realised it was holding. Um, Took a long here. Actually took two longs as we pushed into this flush upwards. I saw the strength. The bull flag at 101 here. You see it's holding. You know, it's not going to pull back. It's holding for several bars. Wait for it to pop again. Entry a little bit poor. 101.33 as you can see. Added again at 101.39. Rocketed up. Got three exits here. 101.56, 101.70, 101.67. Lovely exits. Really happy with that. Getting that move. This was annoying. This was a little bit of an annoying one, but it worked out okay. But it was a little bit annoying. Good tape buyer there, really good tape buyer. Where was he now? 49, 48, something like that. Really solid. He wasn't letting it lift. So I did my little trick, stepped in front of him, and with the stop just behind him. Good bull flag again. Think there's one more push in it, but we have come a long way. So I know I don't want to give it that much room. Anyway, you know what he did? He lifted. It popped through. I got stopped. I took a 5 cent. Nothing. It was nothing loss. It's nothing to be bothered about. Actually, no, it wasn't 5 cents. It was more 12 cents because it was at 50 something. So it was 12 cents. But annoying. But what happened was he lifted. It popped under, just pinged me out, stopped me out. It came straight back up. So when I see it come straight back up, I'm back in on it. And I'll put my stop under that lower, that little spike. So I got back in. This time I got back in at 101.51, and it popped up to 101.90, and I took it all out because it was late in the move. Look at the move; it's so late. Okay, we've come so far. You're really pushing your luck. You don't want to hang around. You could be one more flush. That's what I was looking for. But I was all in and all out on that one. Especially after being stopped on that. But it happens, sometimes it does happen. You get stopped on a great trade. But the thing is, the reason I re-entered, and it's probably something worth mentioning, I re-entered because the premise of the trade was back on. It flushed people out, but the buyer was still there because he came back up immediately. So that was a wick. There was no real trade under there, apart from mugs like me getting stopped out. So when I see that support really is still valid. That dip just flushed people out before the push. I saw that happening. I saw the buying stepping up on the tape. I wasn't afraid to re-enter. My stop was going to be below that wick. Got in at 101.51, out at 101.90, all in, all out. Great. And as I said before, I took a small short as we popped over this 102, looking for the counter trend. Didn't work. Got it going my way quite nicely. Pulled the stop to break even by betting. Got a stop, and this last little flush just pinged out. So all in all, I took a few little stops. Stop there, a little stop here. But then if you look at the distance of the trades that work for me and how I run them, they're more than made up for it. Got 49 cent trade there. This push here was great. 33s out in the 70s and 67s, so that was great. And also this was probably a really great trade. 47.42 out in 92.97. So you don't get them always right, but it's about managing risk. Protect the risk, and then it doesn't matter, because when the trades work, you can let them run, you can maximize your profits, and you end the day with a nice green P&L. So looking forward to tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow brings. Loads of volatility on oil. Also great volatility on the Dow. Just looking for those one or two great trades on the Dow, especially at the open. Didn't really get the drive we wanted, but took a scalp on half. And then that counter trend cycle if it's that type of market. So good trading, guys. Back with another video later in the week.